सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So in the previous class we just started off with the introduction to Kathopanishad. We saw a very brief meaning of the Shanti mantra, which is Sahana Avatu mantra. So today we will enter into the Bhashyam, which is page number 1 of the text. So the first 2 lines already explains what is there. The second line, now Shishya Charyo Saheva Avatu Rakshatu. That means Shishya and Acharya both has to be protected. Protection from what? Protection from negativity in thoughts. That means when the study is going on, the student and the teacher should not have any negative thoughts about each other. The student should not have doubt in the capacity of the teacher. The teacher should not also should not doubt the integrity or the commitment of the student, as long as the student is committed. He talks about the commitment later on. So when the because there's always expectation. That's why Saheva means Saheva means along with. Avatu Rakshatu means may you protect or may he be protected. Then Sahanau Bhunaktu Bojayatha means along together, the student and the teacher, let us enjoy the study. So Bojayatha means enjoy. So there should be not a pain in attending the class or teaching or learning. There should be a joy, there should be an enjoyment, and it should be a process where one benefits from this. So it's called Sahano Bhunaktu. Saha now Bhunaktu means together, Bojayatha. Then Saha Viryam means sufficient. Viryam means sufficient or enough, adequate. Vidhyana Nimittam. So study with the motive. So there should be enough commitment and with the motive. So nobody studies anything without a purpose in life. Okay. So there should be a phalam, there should be a benefit. So Vidyan Nimittam, Samarthyam means one should be able to achieve. Okay. So to achieve the ultimate goal, one has to put sufficient effort. And there should be a study with the motive, with the purpose of study. Karavavahe means put forward. So let us put forward step to go ahead, move ahead. And Nivartyavahe means and not look back. So one must not, after you have taken a step forward to study Vedanta, one must not go backwards. One must not again, like typically the study of the Vedanta itself is very difficult. Not because subject is difficult, the commitment to study Vedanta itself is very difficult. Because there are so many contradictory or conflicting interests which are there in Laukika Vishaya. And this Laukika Vishaya we have been dealing with for many years. Almost about say 50% of the life we have lived with this aspect in life. Suddenly, if you are going to take a jump where you are asked to do even 20% of the time sacrifice, it is a very big ask. And one can continue for some time, then again you go backwards. And this is what it said. The Vedanta doesn't actually tell you to go or come. The students, one's own icha, one's own preparation, one's own sadhana chatushtayam, or the Purushartha Nishchaya itself will determine how far the student will go, how far the student will stop. So the Upanishad, that's why it doesn't prescribe anything. It only says that you be adequately prepared. And once you are prepared, once you have started the study, you always put forward. Karava Vahai, Nivartya Vahai. Do not go back or take a step backward. So you have to keep going forward. Then Tejasvihi means effective, right? So there should be, let the teaching be effective, let the study be effective. No avayoho means our. Guru Shishya. Tejasvina adhitam swadhitam, let it be firm. So adhitam means remembrance and adhitam, swadhitam means firm. Astu artaha means this is the meaning of this mantra. Jnana yogyamastu iti artaha. So jnana yogyam means what? This is the jnana yogaha. So this is the meaning of the jnana yoga. Astu. This is the meaning of its artaha. So that means a person who is committed should study with commitment, sufficient effort, samarthyam to achieve, and should put forward and not go backward. And one must, the student and the acharya both should enjoy the teaching. There must not be a pain, or there should not be any, sometimes we say, I had to go, or there's a class. Some people attend because the acharya will be upset. See, some are, see, if I don't go means the acharya will get upset, so I have to go. So this is nirbandha. So there's no nirbandham here. You are welcome to attend only, or you're welcome to attend a class only if you feel that you're getting benefit out of it. That should be the purpose, because there should be a mutual. So when the teacher teaches, when the student listens, there is a mutual connection, because the words are being transmitted from the mouth of the guru to the student. So there is a transmission of knowledge happening there. So, and it should make a meaning, it should actually serve the motive. Right? That's what vidya nimittam. So study with the motive in mind. Then ma vidvishavahe. So never, our mind should be poisoned or distanced. So poison is a vishai means poison, but you must not take it as poisoning. It is called distancing yourself. So the student should never distance oneself from the teacher. The teacher also should not discriminate or should distance from the student. So if the student says, you teach me, then the student teacher should say, okay, I'm going to teach you. This time is available, this time is available. And once you commit to the time, you come. This is the way it is taught. So once a particular commitment is given, and then you stick to the commitment. So ma vidvishavahe, vidya grahana. So for only when there is no negativity in thoughts, and only when there's distancing in thoughts, vidya grahanam. So vidya means knowledge, grahanam means assimilation is possible. So grahanam means assimilation. Nimittam shishyasya acharyasya va pramada krudhat anyayat aparadhat vidveshaha. So it means what? For the assimilation of the vidya. The nimittam means the reason for this. The reason for this prayer or reason for this is for the student and the acharya. So shishyasya acharyasya, there must not be any negligence or carelessness. So negligence means what? You ignore, or you're not attentive, or you don't give full focus to what you are teaching. The student also is not very attentive. There are many things happening, and so they're just participating. So there has to be full participation, there should be full commitment. So only when two people are communicating properly, or then only it is effective. Otherwise, it is not effective. Right? That's what it says pramada kridhat, means negligence or carelessness. So pramada kridhat means negligence or carelessness, or other anyayat means other reason. There could be other reasons also where the communication may not happen properly, or there can be distancing between the student and the acharya. Right? And these are called, so aparadha means there are mistakes. So mistakes means what? Not mistakes means it's not talking about the vidya. It is a mistake in perception, a mistake in understanding. Uh, so for avoiding those things, it is called videsha, vidveshaha. Vidveshaha means what? Opposite to jnana. So all these are mistakes, carelessness, pramada kritat. They are all negligence. They are will stop a person from proceeding to jnana. They are called vidvishavahe. Right? That's what it says here, vidvishavahe. So ma vidvishavahe vidya grahana nimittam शिष्यस्य आचार्यस्य वा प्रमादकृतात् अन्यायात् अपराधात् विद्वेषः. Okay, is it clear? So the Bhashyam always gives a little bit more clarity than the because Shankaracharya always like to give a little bit more commentary or explain very clearly. So the Sahana Bhavatu mantra is a very simple mantra. You can chant within 1 minute. But really, the essence of the mantra is when we are chanting the mantra, the prayer is intense prayer. It means the teacher is chanting the mantra as the student also chanting the mantra same time. So both are chanting the mantra because both should not be affected by any obstacles. So the teacher should not also be, having any obstacles while teaching. The student also should not have any obstacles while receiving the knowledge. Okay. So then only it is possible for transmission of knowledge and assimilation. That's why it says here, Vidya Grahana. So Vidya Grahana means assimilation of knowledge. So knowledge, one may understand what it is, but assimilation is not possible unless there's a full focus or full attention. Okay. That's what it says here. Then, Praptam Tachamanaya Yam Ashihi. So Praptam means attain, or to attain or to achieve. Tachamanaya means purity in the mind. So purity in the mind is what is attained or what you want to achieve. Yam Ashihi. This is the wish of the mantra. This is the wish. Yam Ashihi. Ashi means the wish. So this is the wish of this. The wish is expressed here for achieving the purity of the mind, removing the negativity of the thoughts in these both the parties, Shishya and Acharya, for Vidya Grahanam, Pramada Kritat for avoiding negligence, or Anyayat Aparadhat. So, is there any other obstacles or any other errors which are being committed, which is bothering the person, should also be protected. Right? This is what Ma Vidvishavahe. So, because for this reason, one must not distance oneself from the teacher, or the teacher should not distance from the student also. See, there are many things from my own practical experience. I've been teaching for last 6 years, and I've been a student for last 14 years. And I've seen many students, many retreats, many have gone there. With my teacher and previous Swami Omkarananda and other people also, I have seen in my own experience that over a period of time, the distancing happens due to the person's, confidence, overconfident, that I think I know everything now. So I don't need anybody now. And the person without, uh, paying respects or without even understanding or, paying even, so whenever you speak anything, the guru has to be in your mind, because you do not speak, the guru speaks to the Upanishad. Right? So we never say that I am speaking. So the guru actually, Kadacham is there, and that is why you speak, you are able to remember and teach. So sometimes over a period of time, this philosophy or this respect for the teacher disappears. And later on, one forgets the teacher and forgets the teaching also. Later on. Then you start getting into the aspect of now teaching for the purpose of money or for fame or for popularity, and you want to be known as a in the world, etc. So this should not be the case. That is what it says here. Right? So distancing is very important word. It happens due to passage of time. If our commitment to the teacher is 100%, and if the Guru Shishya Parampara is to be maintained, then distancing should never happen. One may be even Paramarthananda, she is a very great teacher. Omkarananda is a very great teacher. Even today, Omkarananda still has got respect for Paramarthananda. He will still say, my Guru Natha, I learned from Paramarthananda. So, and Paramarthananda learned from Swamiji only. So, they all refer to, even despite being the greatest teachers of their time, they never claim that they are teaching. They always say that it's due to the Guru's blessing, and they are remembered all the time. Okay? So that is what is not distancing. Very important word, which I wanted to tell you this, because the Vidvisha Vahai is a very important word. That is what distancing. Right? So one must always be connected to the teacher in some way or the other, either by service or by remembering the teacher, attending some classes, whenever you can. Those are all commitment to the Shastri and the teacher. Very important. So praptam tachamanaya yam ashihi ma vidvishavai vahai iti. So no negativity of thoughts in this way. Neva itaretaram dvesham upapadya vahai. So neva means having or serving. Itaretaram means mutual. So there should not be, Suma Vidvisha Vahai is explained as there should not be any mutual dvesham. Upapadhya means arise or coming into existence. So the Ma Vidvisha Vahai iti is explained as Neva Itaretram Dvesham Upapadhya Vahai. It means there should not be any room for negligence or any room for mutual misunderstanding. That's what it says. Then Shanti 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 Trivachanam Uktam Uktartam. So Shanti Shantihi 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 iti Trivachanam. So Vachana means say. Tri means three. So the 3 times Shanti mantra is uttered. Uktartam Vakshamanaha Vidya Vigna. So Vidya Vignam means, I'll explain to you the 3 types of Vignam. Right? So Adi Bhautikaha, Adhyatmikaha, Adi Daivikaha. So there are 3 types of Vignam which one can encounter. For those, the 3 Vachanam, 3 times Shanti mantra is uttered. So Vakshamana Vidya Vigna Prashamanartham Cha Iyam Shantihi. So this Shanti mantra is for the calming of obstacles or removal of any obstacles or warding of obstacles, which is caused by these 3 types of obstacles which we always have or one can encounter. Avignena hi atma vidya praptihi asha asya iti. So tanmulam hi param shreyaha. So rooted in this notion is the reason, or Shreyas means what? Fame, or this mantra is famous for this particular reason, for the notion of removal of avidya. Right? Avijnana hi atma vidya prapti. Avigna means what? For any vignam, any vignam is there, is removed, and thereby vidya prapti hi asha asti. So by removal of the avignam or the obstacles, vidya is possible, and vidya is definitely possible. This is the expectation or the hoping. This is what is required to be done. So this mantra is chanted for this reason. Tanmulam means rooted in this notion or rooted this notion. He param shreyaha. So this is the fame of this mantra, and he that last word explains that this mantra is chanted why. Is it clear? So when we go to page number 2. So in page number 2, the introduction continues, but he leaves behind the Sahana Bhavatu mantra and an introduction to the Upanishad meaning is given. And before any invocation, before any mantra, there is a prayer to the person mentioned in this Upanishad. So as I told you, in this Upanishad, there is Lord Yama, who is the Acharya, who is the teacher of Brahma Vidya. And Nachiketa is the student, is the Shishya. So the conversation which is happening between Lord Yama as the Acharya and Shishya is being presented here. So, Om Namo Bhagavate. So, Bhagavate means unto you who is the Bhagavan. So, here Bhagavan is represented or mentioned as this Acharya. So, Acharya is Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwaraha. So, Bhagavan is represented also as Guru. So, Om Namo Bhagavate. So, hey Bhagavan, unto you, Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidya Acharya Nachiketa Secha. So, Vaivasvataha means sun god. So, Vaivasvan, we say sun god. Vaivasvataya means of the sun god. Mrityave, the lord of death or Lord Yama. So, Yama is the son of Vivaswan. So, he's a Surya Putra. So, he's son of Vivaswan. That's why he says here, Vaivasvataya Mrityave. Brahma Vidya means what? The knowledge of the truth. Brahma Vidya or the Upanishad. Acharya. So Acharya means the teacher who teaches Brahma Vidya is called Brahma Vidya Acharya. So we have got different acharyas for different things. Right? So Vyakaran Acharya, dance Acharya, music Acharya. So many acharyas are there. Acharya is a person who is specialized in the particular skill of knowledge, and able to express himself or herself in communicating that vision. So Brahma Vidya Acharya Nachiketa Secha. So Nachiketa Se means the student here is Nachiketa. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketa Secha. So it is a dialogue, it is an expression of our invocation to this parampara, who is expressed here as Lord Yama as the Acharya, Nachiketa student. Ata Katako Upanishad Vallinam. So this Katako Upanishad or Kato Upanishad is Katako Upanishad. So this Kato Upanishad, which is expressed as Vallis. So there are 6 sections, which I explained to you before, 6 Vallis are there. Sukhartha. means easy. So Sukhartha means what? It is not complex. It is not like the Kenopanishad where you have to scratch your head. So Sukhartha means this is not very complicated. It is a very easy-going topic compared to the Kenopanishad or the Prashnopanishad which you see later. So Sukhartha, Prabodhanartham means easy. So Sukhartha means easy to understand, or the meaning is understood easily. Prabodham means teaching, and Artham means the meaning of the teaching. So teaching means Prabodham means knowledge, and the knowledge, the each and everything is explained with the meaning, the purpose also. Right? Artha. So assimilation of teaching is understanding. So Prabodhanartham, when you say, is number one is knowledge being expressed, and assimilation of this knowledge is possible, is made easy. Sukhartha. Alpa Grantha. So Alpa Grantha means you must not say Alpam. Alpa Grantha means it's a short treatise. This Upanishad is not that big. Alpa Grantha means it is a very brief summary or an explanation. Vritti Arabhyate. Vritti Arabhyate, you must break into Vritti Arabhyate. So Vritti means explanation. Arabhyate means commencing, is being started. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketase Cha. This is the invocation mantra. Then Ata Katako Upanishad Vallina Sukhartha Prabodhanartham Alpa Grantha Vrittirarabhyate. So this Kata Upanishad, which is comprised of Vallis, is being presented, is being started for Sukhartham, for easy understanding. Prabodhanartham means for easy assimilation of knowledge. This brief Upanishad is being presented. Is it clear? Okay. Then Sadir Dhatoho Visharana Gatya Avasadanatasya Upanipurvasya Kvip Pratyaya Antasya Rupam Upanishad Iti. So this is Kvip Pratyaya. So Sade Dhatoho means what? The Sad is the Upanishad, right? And Dhatu is the root word. So Sad. So Dhatu means the root word. Sade Dhatoho. He gives three types of meaning here for this Sade Dhatoho. Number one is what? Visharana. So Visharanam means dissipation or removal or Visharana. Then Gatihi. So Gatya Avasadanatasya. See the word? You must make it as Gatihi, means destination. Avasadanam. Avasadanam means destruction of samsara. Destruction of the constant cycle of birth and death is called avasadanam. So three things are given for the word sad here, dhatu. The root word is given as Visharana, Gatihi, Avasadana, Artasya, Upani, Purvasya. Right. So the word Upani also is explained here. So Upa plus Ni plus Shad is called Upanishad. Okay. So three things. Upa plus Ni plus Sad equal to Upanishad. So Upa and Ni are prefixes for Sad. Okay. And Sad is Dhatu is the root. Sad. Okay. So the word Upani also is, there are two meanings are given, or you should note it down. First is Visharana Gati Avasadanatasya. First. So 3. So Upanishad is equal to, first is Visharana, dissipation, Gatihi, destination, Avasadanam, destruction or uprooting of samsara. So this is the first definition of the word sad, dhatoho. So the root dhatu from where sad is arrived is first meaning. Then the second meaning, the word sad also removes, means upa means closer, close. Ni means definitely or positively is ni. And the word sad destroys. So upa means closer, ni means definitely, and sad means knowledge which destroys. So second definition, the first definition is Visharana Gatihi Avasadana Arthasya. You see the word there? Visharana Gati Avasadana Arthasya. The second definition is Upani Purvasya. So Krip Pratyaya means, see, Pratyaya means suffix and it indicates that there is a previous, there is an agent. Okay. So second definition I gave you was Upa means closer, Ni means definite, and Sad means removes. The third definition of Upanishad also means Upa means near. So Upa means near, and Ni means the student approaches the Guru. And Sad is Acharya. So the student always approaches the teacher for Brahmagyan. The teacher does not go and tell the student that you want Brahmagyan or not, doesn't ask. It's not stuck the case. The student always approaches the teacher saying that, please teach me this, or I would like to know this. Then the teacher says, oh, you want to know this? Okay, we can teach you this. Right? So this is the third meaning of the word Upanishad. So Upani Purvasya Kip Pip Pratyaya Antasya. So Antasya Rupam Upanishad Iti. So it gives the word Antasya Rupam Upanishad Iti. Then Upanishad Shabdena Cha. So by the word Upanishad Shabdena or Chabdena, by the word Upanishad, Vyachikyasita commentary or commenting upon. So Vyachikyasita means, Vyachikyat means comment. Vyachikyasita means comment upon. Grantha. So this Grantha means Upanishad. Pratipadhya, dealing with. Pratipadhya, dealing with. Vedya Vastu Vishaya Vidyochate. So Vedya means ultimate knowledge. Vastu Vishaya Vidyochate. Vastu Vishaya Vidya iti uchyate. You should break like this. Vastu Vishaya Vidya iti uchyate. So Vastu Vishaya means what? That which is to be known. So Vishaya means that which is to be known. And that is being said as Vidya iti uchyate. So to know what is the truth, to know what is that truth, that Vastu, which is described in the Grantha, Upanishad, and the word Upanishad, which was described before as Sadir Dhatoho Visharana Gati Avasadanatasya Upanipurvasya Pip Pratyaya Antasya Rupam Upanishaditi. So you should add those things. So for understanding the word, the meaning of those things, there is a commentary or is being commented. This commentary is given for understanding or dealing with Brahma Vidya, ultimate knowledge, Vedya, Vastu Vishaya Vidya iti uchyate. So for knowing the truth of the ultimate reality, this Vidya is presented here, this commentary is presented here. So there's a question says, Kena punaha artha yogena upanishadena vidya uchyate iti uchyate. So why is it again said, or Kena punaha, why again this meaning is said? Because Upanishad meaning should have been already understood by the student. But it is being said again. So there is a question being put by the Adi Shankara itself. There's really no question. We said that why again we are learning this? Why it is said again, this definition of Upanishad. So Kena Punaha, so why again? Artha Yogena, the meaning of the word Upanishad, Upanishadena Vidya Uchyate, Vidyochyate iti Uchyate. So why it is said that this Vidya is important, and this word Upanishad is being mentioned again? Why is it? What is the reason? Iti Uchyate. So the in page number 3, sorry, before I go, I want to understand, you are okay with page number 2? You're okay, page number 2, because it's not that difficult. I mean, I'm assuming, I do not. If you have got any questions, please ask. Any word you understand, let me know. So the key thing is 3 Upanishad meanings are given, that you note it down. Okay. And the other important thing is Sukhartam, Prabodhanartam, Alpagranta, Vritti Arabhyate. So for the easy understanding of this teaching and assimilation of the teaching, this word Upanishad is presented again. Okay. So one should know what is Upanishad, why it is being studied. People ask, what is Upanishad? So Upanishad means this. This removes this knowledge. This is for removal of samsara. This is for taking you to destination. This is for going to a teacher. Removal of ignorance. All these things has to be understood by the student who is eligible to study or to acquire Brahma Vidya. Right? That is why he says, the question is put, why again this is mentioned? Because student may ask, why it is mentioned again? Maybe it is a repetition, or is it just for, because the student wants to do this? So the reiteration or repetition is mentioned here mainly for the student to reassess and recalibrate if anything is missed out. Right? So as we study so many things, we forget many things. So the repetition which Veda uses is actually for our benefit only. That's why it is said here. So we go to now page number 3. Ye mumukshavaha. So ye means for those. Mumukshavaha means the mukshuhu means the qualified students. So mumukshuhu, when you say, means you must add all the sadhana chatushtayam, right? So all the 6 different qualities, right? Which is tattva, all samadhanam, vairagyam, titiksha, all the things you should know. Okay? All of them are included there, correct? So ye mumukshavaha and sadhana chatushtayam and clear understanding of what is required. Then drashta anushravika vishaya vitrishnaha. Drashta anushravika vishaya vitrishnaha. So drashta means not a seer here. So drashta means, he talks about for the mumukshu, he says those that can be seen. So drashta means those that objects that can be seen or enjoyed. Example, money, property, children, etc. Or called drashta. They are called seen. You can see them, you can enjoy them. It is available for direct knowledge. This is possible. You can see the money, you can enjoy the benefits, etc. Then anushravika means what? Those that cannot be seen or invisible. Anushravika means those that cannot be seen. Example, one may want to go to Svargalokam. See, one of the teaching in this is Saguna Brahma Upasanam is being discussed here in this Upanishad. Because Nachiketa is a very small boy. Brahma Vidya is not taught to him directly. So Yama introduces him to Saguna Brahma Upasanam first. And there is elaborate Nachiketa ritual which is being discussed later on in the section. So Anushravika means those that cannot be seen. Example, any unseen benefit or unseen phalam you want to have. Those that can be seen by the mukshu, those that cannot be seen by the mukshu, or any desire which cannot be contemplated upon. Vishayaha means what? Sense objects. So Vishaya, sense objects means they are all objects of knowledge. Vitrishnaha means free from those things. So Mumukshu should be free from those that are bringing, those objects that bring desire, or those things which you can see or enjoy, or one should be free from those desires. So it does not mean that you must not desire. What it says here, you must be free from the bondage of desire. That means the desire should not bind you. You must be able to manage the desire yourself. As long as the desire does not obstruct your knowledge, the desire does not make you a slave to that particular desire, it is okay to have a desire. See, a desire to have a coffee is not a bad desire. I have got, everybody has got it. Desire to have a coffee in the morning is okay because you are not dependent upon it. If you don't get it and if you get restless and you get headache, or you start becoming very angry and jittery, then that signifies that you are actually getting addicted to this particular habit. So one must be able to manage without that when it's not available, and one should be able to also live with it when it's available also. So it does not really drive the person. That is called here drishta. Anushravika means those which cannot be seen. So somebody may aspire, see, my whole objective of the study is to go to heaven. I want to be in the Loka for some time. I want to go to Brahma Lokam, and I want to enjoy there for some time. So that is something which is, you cannot see them. Usually adrishta phalam. Right? So the student, mumukshu, mumukshavaha vitrishnaha means this is being taught or this is being reiterated for the mumukshu to be free from those two types of aspects of desires. Becoming santaha, becoming a wise person or santaha. Upanishad Shabda Vachyam. So this Upanishad Shabda Vachya means Vachyartaha. So Vachya means the prose meaning. Upanishad Shabdaha is explained. Vakshamana Lakshanam. So Vakshamana means it is said. So the purpose for repetition of this word Upanishad is said for the mumukshu, so that the person he is free from drashta, anushravika. Vitrishnaha means free from those, and thereby making the person santaha. Santa means wise person. So sant means wise person. Therefore, Upanishad Shabda Vachyam. So the prose form or the words of the Upanishad are being enumerated. Vakshamana said, Lakshanam or Lakshartaha is the characteristics. So with this understanding or with this purpose in mind, Vidya upasadyo upagamya. Vidya upasadyo upagamya will break into Vidya upasadyo upagamya. So upasadyo upagamya means approaches. Both are same meaning. Upasadyo upagamya means approaches or comes near. for achieving this Brahma Vidya, for the purpose of Brahma Vidya. So the Mumukshu approaches the teacher or the Acharya with the desire to be free from Drashta Anushavika Vishayat Vitrishnaha, and for becoming a wise person, Santaha. The Upanishad Vachyam which is there is being commented upon. For that understanding of what is said in the Upanishad, he has to go to Upasadyo Upagamya. Tannishtaya. So Nishta means what? It's a discipline. Nishta. So Tannishtha means self-commitment. So one has to be self-committed, or he has to be dedicated. So whenever you approach, or whenever a student approaches, see, it is like, when you go to school also, what do? We have a commitment. We have to go to school every day. There should be no remarks in my calendar. So come what may, we just, pull ourselves and go to the college or go to, the school. We go do that for studying Apra Vidya. But for studying Brahma Vidya, it is that commitment is not there sometimes, because it is not giving any objective benefit. If you study degree, etc., you can go to work, you can earn money. But Brahma Vidya, what will you do? Atma Jnanam only is possible. Atma Jnanam, what will you do? That's why it is not taught to other people. Only Mumukshunam Hitarthaya. See, Tattvabodha also what? Mumukshunam Hitattvabodham iti vidhiyate. Abhidhiyate. So only for the Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodham iti abhidhiyate. Vasudeva Yogindram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho iti abhidhiyate. So this Tattvabodha is being taught to the Mukshunam for the hita, for the benefit of the Mukshus, for assimilation, understanding of this teaching called Tattvabodha, or the meaning of the Tattvam, the knowledge is being. Same thing here also said here, for the purpose of the Mukshu who is desirous, Drashta Anushravika Vitrishna, and becoming a wise person, Santa. This Upanishad Vachyam Vakshamana Lakshanam Vidya Upasadyo Upagamya. So with this idea, the person Mumukshu approaches with Tanishtataya. So with a commitment or with dedication. Nishchayena, firm. There is no dilly-dallying here and there. See, I will give some time for 3 months. I will pakala or 2 மாசம் போய் பார்க்கலாம் அப்படிங்க. So you'll see already, very committed. Then 1 class you come, 2nd class you don't come, then 3 classes you don't come, the 1 class you come. So this is actually not going to help, because the study will not be continuous. The topic has to be regular, right? So there has to be continuity, or you should at least be following something offline to do that. So Nishchayena means definitely. Shilayanti. Shilayanti means dwelling upon. So Shilayanti means the student should dwell upon, or for the purpose of dwelling upon this teaching, which is Vidya. With this view, Upasadya Upagamya, he approaches. So for those Tesham Vidya Dehe. So for those people only this is recommended, this is being mentioned. So for those people who want to be free from Drishta Anushavika Vitrishna, becoming Santa, for those people, Upanishad Shabda Vachya, these words of the Upanishad are being explained Vakshamana with the characteristics Lakshana, Lakshartaha. So with that view in mind, the student approaches Upasadya Upagamya with Tanishtataya Nishchayena Shilayanti Tesham Vidyadehe. So for those students, for the benefit of those students, this Vidya is being presented. Then he gives reason for that. Samsara Bijasya. So Bijam means seed. the seed of samsara. So what are the seed of samsara? Desire. So first is avidya. Avidya, because avidya you have adhyaropaha, because adhyarupam will become the lead you to karma. Because adhyarupam means what? Falsification of you being the doer. And avidya is mula karana. Because of ignorance, we have a superimposition, we superimpose that we are the doer. So avidya, adhyasaha, then you have karma. So karma, you do actions. So karma will do what? Punyam and papam, correct? Punyam and papam will give results. So because of punyam and papam, again janma. Again janma will again become mrityu. Again mrityu will again become born. Again ajnanam comes. So this cycle continues forever. A person lives in complete darkness. He comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes, without ever trying to find out how to come out. That is what the samsara bijasya. That means what? Desire, karma, punyam and papam continues all the time. So samsara bijasya. So for the removal, samsara bijasya visharana, vidvamsanat. Dvamsam means destruction. So vidvamsanat means, so visharanat means uprooting or eradicating. You can say uprooting or eradicating. Vidvamsanat means, dvamsam means destruction. So the destruction of the samsara or removal of the samsara. Vinashanadi anena artha yogena means, so anena artha yogena means what? Anena means different meanings given. What? Tannishtayataya, nishchayena, shilayanti, drishta, shravika, anushravika, santa, samsara bijasya, visharana vidyam, all those things has to be connected. So it's anena shabda, means all these things have been said before. Anena artha yogena, means artha means the meaning has to be understood, and anena artha yogena upanishad iti uchyate. So by connecting the meaning of different things, what is said before, Upanishad says these things. Okay. So the purpose of the Upanishad is explained again to the moksha. The study of the purpose, the study why it is mentioned again. What is the question asked before? Kena punaha artha yogena upanishadena vidyochyate iti uchyate. Why it is again said again and again? So for repetition is for the mukshus, it is reiterated, it is repeated, so that the qualities are given again. Tannishtaya, nishchayena, shilayanti, samsara bijasya visharana, vidvamsanat, vinashanat, anena artha yogena vidya, upanishad iti brahma, upanishad means brahma vidya iti uchyate. Right? Tata cha vakshayati nichachyam tam mrityumukat pramuchyate. So therefore, by having this knowledge, vakshayati, by knowing this knowledge, nischachayam to mean nischayam, mean definitely, mrityumukat pramuchyate. So definitely by knowing this knowledge, one will be free from mrityumukham. So the face of death or the fear of death. Pramuchyate means released. So the purpose of the study is given here. The quality of the student also is given here, along with other things which we have, like samadhanam, titiksha, samadhana, uparama, etc. Along with that, one must also have tannishtaya, nischayena, shilayanti, and a desire for, not having a desire for drishta, anushravika, vishaya vitrishta. So you have to add all these things along with that. So if you have a list of 10 things, add other 6 things to this. So these things should also be added together to get the benefit of this. Then only one starts to become or develop become a wise person. And when you become a wise person, you are definitely free from Samsara bijasya. So you are free from samsara and you become one with Brahma Vidya. The purpose of Brahma Vidya is achieved. That's why it says Vidya Upanishad iti uchyate. Tata cha vakshayati dichachyam tam mukya mukhat mrityu mukhat pramuchyate. So in Katha Upanishad in 1.3.15 you will see this reference. Okay. Is this clear so far? Okay. Have you understood the word?
Can you explain the word Anushravik once more?
Anushravika. The Anushravika means those that cannot be seen. That means imperceptible benefits. See, drishta means the seer actually. But drishta, when you say here, means those which can be seen or enjoyed by the mumukshu. So what are the things? Desire. Right? Desire to have a car, desire to have big house, desire to go on a holiday, cruise, have children, progeny, and continue to live, continue to be with the family, with grandchildren, all these things are all there's no end to it. See, there has to be an end to it, correct? If unless you put an end, say no, this is my life. Oh, it's over. Now anything, let them continue. I want to pursue my life. You can be in this life forever, right? This is something seen. But there's also unseen effect of this called Anushravika. That means there is a desire in me to go to Brahmaloka, to achieve, I want to be free. I wouldn't want to go to Shivalokam or Vaikuntham. But you don't know how to go there. Because when you are busy with this thing, how will you go? So he says this is not applicable for the ordinary people. So only for mukshus who are committed, it is drashta, anushravika, vishay, vitrishnaha. See, trishna means what? Desires. Vitrishna means free from desire. So only for a person who is mumukshu, who wants to be free from desire, from both seen and unseen or imperceptible desire, for such a person to become a vice santaha, this Upanishad Vachyam Vakshamanam. So this Upanishad Shabda means, or words are Upanishad, is being revealed to this mokshu. And for that, it gives qualification, Tanishtataya Nishchayena Shilayanti Desham Vidyadehe. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. This seems easy, right? Not difficult as the Bhasham. Because there's a story there, so it's actually very easy, not very complicated. So I'm trying to give you the Bhasham is very, very expressive because when you read the Bhasham, it gives you more commentary on every word. Then you just give just a basic idea. Right? So what it gives you is the qualities which we must acquire. So if you don't have Tanishtataya, commitment is not there, then we have to develop this. It doesn't say that you should first develop and come to the class. You can never develop this attitude unless you know what attitude it is. See, Swamiji used to say, my teacher will say, value and first of all, you should know what is the value. Then only you can actually put a value to the value. Then you can live the values. So value how will you put a value to the value? Then how will you live the value? That is because if you know the value of the money, then only you will know how to protect it, correct? And you will know how to use it, how to enjoy it. If you give to somebody a donkey, here is $1 million. It has got no value for it. You give to somebody who knows, they'll say, oh, I'll buy a big yacht, big property will buy. I'll donate it, something will do. Right? That is why for a mumukshu, it is very important to have the values. It is very important to know the purpose, motive. That is why in the mantra also he says that for the motive only is important. And he continues from the same, reiterate the qualities. Right? Later on, he's not going to say this. He says, this is the purpose. So if you don't have it, you develop it. And that is what is said by the Acharya here. Is it clear, Swamiji?
Yes.
Uma, is it clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from Jayama, Radhaji? Anyone? You're okay?
Yeah, fine, Shankarji.
Okay. Jayama, you're okay?
Okay. கொஞ்சம் ஃபுல்லா தெரியலைங்க.
கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம்.
Okay. உங்களுக்கு ராதா உங்களுக்கு இருக்கு ராதா இருக்கல ராதா she will explain to you. இந்த கிளாஸ்க்கு அப்புறமா ராதா will give you another
We discuss, sir.
இல்ல உங்களுக்கு டவுட் இருந்தா ஜெர்மன்ல கேளுங்க. If you want to know in Tamil also I can tell you. Some other time whenever I'm free you just call me or just WhatsApp me. Sanskrit is a very expressive text and sometimes there are people who are actually non-Tamil people are here and I'm very mindful about talking in Tamil also. Because people read the video, people see the video, they hear the video, they say, oh, there's a lot of Tamil being talked about. I try to keep this class English first. But if you need to understand the Tamil equivalent, or உங்களுக்கு தமிழ் easier இருந்தா சொல்லுங்க. I'll teach you in Tamil also separately.
இல்ல அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் ஆகுதுங்க, இங்கிலீஷ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் ஆகுதுங்க.
உங்களுக்கு போக போக புரியும் ஜெர்மன், கவலைப்படாதீங்க. You just give the text. நீங்க ரெகுலர் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க. You will find easily this understandable.
Okay.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste. Shubhratri to all of you. Tomorrow we have got Upadhyaya Shastri class at 8 o'clock. Okay, tomorrow. So we'll meet you at 8 o'clock for those people who want to come to the class. Hari.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you.